Morning, folks. We're gonna pick up where we left off yesterday and continue our adventures here. Streets of Night City. Ooh, I got another nasty comment to reply to over on my Starfield video from this morning. I fucking love trolls, man. It's great because it's traffic, and they don't understand that every time they leave me a trolly comment and try to come back and leave more trolly comments, I get paid. So it's like, please keep coming back and leaving trolly comments on my videos. Let's go respond before we get started with today's stream. Great stuff. All right, guys, welcome everyone. We're going to get going with some Underdark today. We're going to take our Druid down to the Underdark. This may be the last session I play with this before I switch over to like the Ranger or the Rogue. Unless I decide to completely finish the Underdark, in which case we might do tomorrow as well with the Druid. But we're coming to the end of the Druid in early access, and we're going to do, because I only do the Druid this week. Next week's either going to be the Ranger or the Rogue. I might actually have a vote. We might do a vote on the channel. That might be a good thing to do, is we could do a vote for the members. So I'm going to put up a member video or a member poll. We'll do a member poll, a member-only poll. Matter of fact, let me do that right now. If you are a member of the channel, everybody, here on YouTube, then you'll see this poll pop up in just a second. I'm going to go post this while we're sitting here before we get going. Let's do a text poll. Visibility, all channel members. Wrapping up our Druid playthrough in BG3 Early Access. And we have 2 final weeks before launch. Right? It's 2 more weeks until launch? 2 full weeks. Yep. All right. Poll is up for our members. Let's get a link to that, and we will then share this out to Discord. All right. That is up. All right. Poll is live for all of our channel members. Alright, we're done here.
One day I'll catch a break.
I mean, I kind of feel like if we can go sell, let's do a final sell before we get out of here. By the way, how much does this stupid lyre weigh? I don't need it. I don't do music.
Here goes.
What if Halson is... No, don't go there.
Halson's already been rescued, so she's definitely got some dialogue that's still a little bit wonky. General wonkiness. What do we have here? Rescue the Druid Halson. Oh, do I need to go? It still hasn't. Let's go back to talk to Wrath real quick. Because I went and got the reward, but he's not. It hasn't triggered completion of that quest.
I want to have a word.
That's weird.
Thanks to you, the grove is whole again. Halcyon will guide us forward and Korga's heart will heal. I have full faith in that.
Groovy. So that still didn't complete the quest. What fucking cellar was that? Huh. Well, let's go talk to Halcyon one more time. Maybe that'll trigger the completion. I don't know.
Your path will soon take you away from the grove, I feel. Your efforts will not be forgotten.
Well, you're going to be coming with me, Halcyon. What about my problem?
Soon. First, I must set matters to rights in the grove. And you should celebrate your victory. After being dormant for so long, your infection is unlikely to
That
produce
helmet
new
is too
symptoms
much.
spontaneously. Tomorrow morning, we shall discuss what is to come.
The way his beard sticks out of the little helmet. Alright. I guess we're done with that. Let's go ahead and turn that visibility off because it looks ridiculous. I think we can just do a long rest here. However, we need to sell. I wonder if we can do one last sell at the merchants. Are they even still here or are they all gathered to leave? Oops, that's the wrong way. I think they're all gone. I'll have to find out. What's up, Assassin Gamer? No, he's still here. We can sell to him. One last chance to get rid of all our stuff.
You scattered the goblins. Peace can finally return to this corner of the Sword Coast. Thank you.
You're welcome. Just glad I could help.
As am I. And I'm sure those poor refugees would quite agree.
You, sir, are a douchebag because you were ready to let the Druid... You were ready to let Kaga kick him out, so... Yeah, that's how I feel about this dude.
Of course.
Alright, we got a whole bunch of shiznizzle we can sell. Like this and this. I have so much gold, it's awesome. Sell, sell, sell. Sell. I need this? Nah. Insufficient gold to complete the transaction. Do we have any camp supplies, sir? Do I need to sell any of these antidotes? Man, is that all he has? Actually, let's buy back that torch. We need to have at least one torch. She can carry those. You can carry those. You can carry those. Alright, I think we're good here.
May you keep balance.
Oh, man, that happens every once in a while with new people. As long as it's fixed, that's the most important part, because everybody fucks up from time to time. Hell, even I fuck up from time to time, and I've been doing this a long time. As long as you can fix and get it back to where the client likes it. You know, so I'm 43. I've been self-employed since I was 20. I've always had my own businesses, freelanced, contracts, consultations, and I've just worked as a freelancer for 23 years, almost 24 years now. And invariably, it doesn't matter what you're working on, there's gonna be some clients who are just hard to please. But as long as you can get it back to working order, that's the most important part. So as long as the fire is out. This is my second year of not working with clients, actually. This is only the second year I haven't done any contract work. Last year, because we moved and we bought the homestead, and then I've been working full-time on YouTube since last February, and my last contract wrapped up in January of last year. So it's been a year, I guess a year and a half, a little bit more than a year and a half. I've been doing this full time and no longer worried about doing contracts for other people or anything else. And as long as the channel keeps growing, I'll be fine. I don't miss freelancing, I really don't. I got a lot of enjoyment out of it, traveled around the world, lived as a digital nomad for 20 years.
Of course.
But
it's a big city, lots of opportunity.
Don't miss some aspects of it.
Don't let that place.
I don't think there's anybody else we need to talk to here, so let's just go ahead and go to our camp.
I guess things are already better. I've learnt a lot.
There we go.
I'm your lummox.
There's a lot of interesting aspects to being self-employed that are not, that are difficult for some people to accept. Like, there's the misconception that you can just do whatever you want. You can do sometimes whatever you want, but you still have clients and expectations. You have contracts. So while you can kind of set your own schedule and work your own pace, you still have deadlines and commitments and milestones if you want to get paid. So you have to be capable of being extremely self-diligent and self-motivating to be able to meet and exceed client demands. Because if you want referrals, you have to do a good job. It's not about doing it according to the contract. It's about doing more than, so that the contract, when it's finished, the client looks at it and goes, wow, this was a better than expected experience. I want to work with this person again, or I want to use this person for the next project, or I want to recommend this person to the next project. You voted on the poll? Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. By the way, everybody who's tuning in right now, if you're just getting here in the morning, there is a poll that I put up a few minutes ago for channel members. So if you are a member of my channel, there is a poll to vote on what the next playthrough is in early access, whether we do the rogue or the ranger, because I am going to be wrapping up this druid playthrough in the next 2 to 3 sessions, I would imagine, because we're about to head to the Underdark this morning, but we're not doing any 6-hour streams right now. We're doing like 2-hour streams, so it'll probably take us about 6 hours to get through the Underdark. Maybe it'll be 4 to 6 hours. So expect 2 to 3 more streams with the druid. Tomorrow, probably Saturday, and then maybe Sunday we'll be starting the, I don't know, what's the next one? Is it Ranger? Is it Rogue? Go vote on the poll. If you're a channel member, go vote. If you're not a channel member, now's the time to rectify that. There's 3 different tiers of membership down below, so just pick one. whichever works for you. You can also support with SuperChats, which are one-off donations. Well, I have both of those characters created and sitting at this Druid camp. I think at like level 2 or 3, so they're ready to go for whichever gets the vote. So we shall see. God, I love the music in the camp right now. Oh, Asterion wants to talk about something.
You know, I never pictured myself as a hero. Never thought I'd be the one they'd toast for saving so many lives. And now that I'm here... I hate it. This is awful.
I have an interesting history with Final Fantasy XIV. I don't like anime. Let me put it this way. I don't like the waifu stuff. I don't like the ooh woo. I just don't get into that. So I have tried Final Fantasy 3 times. 14. I've tried it 3 times. Here's an interesting story on that. So the first time I tried it was when it first came out. Like not the Realm Reborn. Excuse me, not before it was a Realm Reborn. I tried it when it was the Realm Reborn and the Realm Reborn was sort of new, like maybe 6 months into it. Tried it, did not like it because there was a grind aspect where I wasn't able to complete the main storyline unless I went off and did all these side quests and participated in events and all this other stuff, and I had a hard time with that, so I left. I went back, tried it again a couple years later, still didn't like it. Then they made all of the adjustments to get rid of all this. They sped up the leveling process in Final Fantasy XIV, and they got rid of all of the need to do side quests. So first 2 times I tried it on the PC. The third time, which is probably 3 years ago, maybe 2 years. It was whenever. Was it 2 years ago? When did the last, like the final expansion? I think the final expansion was 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, and they were running a deal on the PlayStation 4 to do like an all-in-one everything for like $60. So I did an all-in-one, bought all the expansions, and I played it hard for about 45 days, 50 days. I played every single day for 3 to 4 hours. I streamed a few of the sessions. I think I actually streamed a lot of those sessions. This is 3 years ago, so you'd have to dig way back in my channel to find that. That was back when I only had like 400 or 500 followers. So I wasn't doing this. That was when I was still doing this for a hobby. And I did get all the way through A Realm Reborn, and I got about halfway through Heaven's Ward, which I think is the first expansion, before I just burned out and said, this just isn't for me. The story was okay, but what drove me away was the ooh woo, the waifu stuff. Just I can't handle it. Like the characters when when they jump up in the air with their heels in the air and they're like, yay, yeah. And the other thing that really drove me nuts was the story was good, but they would do like 7 or 8 quests where you would go over here and do this thing. You would be following this storyline, and all of a sudden it would stop, and it would send you all the way over to another part of the world, and you would be working on a completely different series of quests. Do 7 or 8 quests over there, then they would send you to another part of the world, do 7 or 8 quests over there, and they kept like breaking the stories and be like, now we're doing this storyline, then we're working with these characters in this storyline, then we're working with these characters in this storyline, and then they would send you all the way back to work with the first characters again. And it's like, why the fuck would I not just stay in one place, work with these guys through 25, 30 quests, finish their story arc, then go work on these guys and their story arc, then go work on these guys and their story arc. So there were things I liked about Final Fantasy 16, or 14, sorry. 16 is the one that just came out. Final Fantasy 14, I like some things, but I couldn't get past the way they broke the story up, and I didn't like that, and I really can't handle the waifu stuff. I can't. And the chocobo music, and just there was a lot of, dare I say, kind of like, it's just that Eastern anime style. It's not for me. I know some people love it. Especially the uwu girls, the e-girls, who sit there and be like, uwu. Somebody made a really good joke the other day on TikTok, which I got a kick out of. They said that when a Latina, and I'm married to a Mexican, so I can tell this joke. I am allowed to tell this joke because I speak Spanish. I have permanent residency in Mexico. My wife is Mexican. I'm very much ingrained in the Latin culture, so I can tell this joke. When a Latina says, "Ay, papi," that's the equivalent of "ooh woo." And I saw that on TikTok last night, and I about died laughing because I was like, oh my god, that is so true. The "I poppy" is the same thing as "ooh woo," but just from a different cultural aspect. Because yeah, I got a kick out of that because it's so true when you dig down into the deep parts of that. What's up, Zero Homer? How are you doing this morning? So Endwalker is when I bought the whole. So that was the end of 2001. So that's been about 2 years ago now. All right, really, you did a good thing. Suck it up and enjoy yourself.
Enjoy myself? There's a worm in my brain. I'm surrounded by idiots, and all I've got to drink is wine that tastes like vinegar.
Vino que tiene el sabor de vinagre. Bleh, guácala. Ah, otra persona que habla español. Qué bueno. Portugués también. Yo no. Solo español y inglés. Zero Homer says, ending my workday to listening to tales of ooh woo. Don't make me dress up with my little pointy ears. I need a little pointy ear, little cat ear headset, and then I can sit here and do the ooh woo for you, Zero Homer. Relax. All your problems will still be in the morning, Asterion.
That means I have to survive tonight. And this party. All I want is a little fun. Is that so much to ask?
That had better not mean I want to kill something.
Not at all. I was hoping for companionship. And, well, maybe a little death. Figuratively speaking. Not with you, just to be clear. I mean, can you imagine?
Oh my god!
Ugh, no.
Oh my god, he's totally insulting my gnome.
Anyway, don't let me keep you. I'm sure you have someone else to.
He's like, not with you. Ooh, no. Fuck you, Asterion. Fuck you, bro. Bubble Lotus says that style of animation storytelling doesn't do it for me either. My older son loves it. Excuse me, my oldest loves it though, so different strokes. Yeah, I just
No, an owlbear.
Yeah, I can't. I've tried too. And the funny thing is like I enjoy Final Fantasy VII. That was a really good game. But here's the thing, I played the remake, and the remake had some really good aspects to it when it came out a couple of years ago, the Final Fantasy VII remake. But it was, I remember when the what is her name? Tifa? Is that the character Tifa? When they did the statue of her, when they did the figure that came out, and they were selling that figure of Tifa's character, and she was like in that completely sexualized pose. It was like they know their audience so well, because all anyone has to do is go to I'm not going to say the website, but starts with a P and ends with a B, pb.com. If you ever go there and just look up Final Fantasy VII or just Final Fantasy stuff, people, yes, I've looked at it. I've definitely gone and looked at it, and it's hilarious because people really get into their Final Fantasy fantasies. And Tifa's character in particular, everyone just loves to sexualize that character. And it's so funny because when I played Final Fantasy VII, the remake, it's so hilarious how bad those characters are. Like, it's so hilarious how poorly written the female characters are in that game. It's such a male fantasy, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. That fills a niche and it caters to a specific audience, but it is absolutely a game all about the waifu and being the uwu and getting off on that, because it was a fun game, but that part of it drove me absolutely batty. What's up? Oh, Smeagol. What's up, Smeagol? You want to come say hi to the stream?
Come on, Alfie, make it spicy.
Hi. Come here.
All right.
You're a big boy. Yeah. Oh, you don't want to be held. All right, go to your chair, grumpy butt.
None of that poetic stuff. Something like goblins swarmed, but we were brave and fried them all with a thunder wave.
All right, let's go to... Is this the part
That's
where
not what happened.
Lizelle tells us, if only you were so lucky to sleep with
Live
me?
a little.
I have seen the Kithraki tear a screaming Nyogi's legs from its belly to fashion into blades.
What's up, Victoria?
Yet they could not match your nerve today. It was enough to drive me to madness.
Cat Dad
A
stream,
pity
says
for us
Graham.
both you've turned your back on me so often.
Yeah, this is where she tells me, if only you hadn't turned your back on me, you could have slept with me. Perhaps we could get to know each other another time.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. I will take pleasure when I wish, and from whom I wish. One day fortune may favor you.
She has such a high opinion of herself. That's hilarious. Where's Shadowheart? I haven't actually tried to talk to Shadowheart during this part.
Color coordinated, even ironed.
There's nothing more satisfying than a well-organized wardrobe.
Oh, there she is. She's over in this direction. Final Fantasy VII gym minigame.
Spirits. Strange.
Astarion, Zero Homer says Astarion's my favorite court jester in this game. I'm gonna drag him through every playthrough just for memes. Assassin says I still have to try Final Fantasy 16. So I was gonna, I won't play it because it's PS5 exclusive and PC. I don't want to play it on the PC. I don't have a PS5, so it is what it is. I have an Xbox Series X. It looks good. Final Fantasy 16 looks amazing. If it ever comes to the console, if it ever comes to the Series X, I'll play it. Or if I ever get a PS5, I'll play it. But I'm not going out of my way right now. All right. You know who I never thought myself caring for? Me?
Your words, not mine. But not what I mean. I mean tieflings. Never gave them much thought. Certainly not that bunch in the grove. Yet we came through for them.
I'm with you there, Zero Homer. Shadowheart, my gothic waifu, my gothic princess. Let's just put it that way. I'm totally romancing Shadowheart on my first playthrough, and I have firmly changed my mind, everyone. I loved my druid, and I'm still doing the druid, but my forest gnome, I'm not doing him at launch. I'm definitely going to go with my wood elf, and the reason for that has nothing to do with stats. It has everything to do with stature. I just got tired of running around and being short and looking up at everybody. And look at this, like this right here. Every single animation sequence, I'm like this. And it just drove me nuts. I like the idea of the forest gnome for a roleplay perspective, but I think I'm going to reserve a forest gnome for my rogue playthrough. Possibly. Might be a halfling. We'll see. But I think I'm going to go ahead and do wood elf for my druid. We'll see. Graham says I'm playing it right now. I'm assuming you're talking about Final Fantasy 16. It's a nice and needed push forward. PS5 exclusive for 6 months. And okay, that's interesting to know. Zero Homer says he's playing Shadowheart at launch. Bubbleonia says that's the last bit from Lizelle was boilerplate rockstar to groupie code for get in line and maybe shower first. Yeah, I suppose if it does come to the Xbox next year, I'll probably give Final Fantasy 16 a go. Because I do like the games, I just have to, it's a struggle bus to get past that aspect of it. But 16 has looked pretty solid. It doesn't look nearly as, ooh-wooey as 14 and 7. And I'm tortured because I would love to play the follow-up to Final Fantasy 7, but I literally have to switch that part off of my brain or do what I did when I was playing it couple years back, which is sit there and just laugh my ass off every time that shit comes up and just be like, oh my god, eye roll. So are all of the origins romanceable, asks Assassin. Yes, all of the origins are romanceable. They talked, and I'm going to do another video about the romance options coming up soon. I just recorded the multi-classing episode today, which is going live at 2 p.m. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. 2 p.m. Central today, everybody. We're having the overview of multi-classing coming out. But I'll do another one about the romance options later, because they talk about how, like, if you permit, you can end up sacrificed in a sex rite to a death god if you really want to go all the way in some of the romances in this game, which I think is amazing. All right. Not so odd. We did the right thing.
That's more easily said by some than others. But nobody's here to debate right from wrong. Share a bottle with me?
Absolutely.
We should wait a little while.
Am I going to do Hoochie Coochie with Shadowheart? I'll find you after everyone's turned in for the night.
Best not keep me waiting. I'd prefer not to entertain myself.
I've never... Can you actually do a romance here in the early access?
They'll hire you on the spot.
I didn't know you could do that. Death by Snooze... That's Death by... What is it? Death by Snoofu? I'm in the same boat, Panda. My first playthrough is Shadowheart. My second playthrough as a Drow Sorcerer. I am 100% romancing Karlach. Absolutely. Death by Snoo-Snoo. What is it? Snoo-Snoo? Snoo-Foo? I forget the phrase. I'm gonna go look it up right now. Make sure I don't butcher it. It's Snoo-Snoo, not Snoo-Foo. Oh man, I got that wrong. Snoo-Snoo! Sorry, Graham. The Hoochie Coochie Mama. La Mama de Hoochie Coochie. Oh! Alright guys, listen up. If you're a member of the channel, there is a poll up on YouTube to determine what is the next playthrough that we're doing after we wrap up the Druid here in Early Access. And right now, the Ranger Beastmaster is winning. So if you're a member of the channel, make sure to go check out the community section. Matter of fact, let me just drop the link to that poll right here.
Toddlers are easier to please than you lot.
Not like you needed it.
Maybe we should forget the city. Live out here.
The hard part, nudge nudge wink wink, is gonna be when you're streaming. I'm gonna have to turn off all the naughty options because I don't want my streams to get hit for advertising. So I'll have to turn the mature rating off and obscure the nudity and all that other stuff. But my personal playthroughs, I'm absolutely gonna be doing all the fun.
I love you.
What's up? Heinzler says I can chat now. Hi, what's up, Hensler? Welcome to the channel. Yeah, there's a 20-minute delay so that we can avoid spammers coming in and dropping links to porn and stuff. So anyway, go vote if you haven't. I dropped a link, everybody. Excuse me. So has anybody done this romance option with Shadowheart before? How do we... She said meet me after everyone has gone to bed, and I don't know what that means. Because I don't know if everyone's...
Make it spicy.
Who else do I need to talk to? Let's talk to Gale.
Thank you.
What's up? Oh, Lucas is coming in. What's up, Lucas? Jojo, good boy. You want your chair? Did you get your chair? Did you get your chair? Are you happy, boy, because you got your chair? No one's in your chair this morning. Oh, Jojo, good boy. Jojo, good boy. Lucas. Yeah, Luke. Cat dad stuff. Meow, meow, meow. Don't mind me in my boxer shorts. Oh, we're black screen here for some reason. I'm sure you're welcome.
There's that confidence I like.
I thank you for seeking me out. Amidst all this merriment, I wasn't sure we'd have a chance to speak this evening. More's the pity you've already found someone else to make merry with. Just the two of you. There's something unspeakable about Shadowheart. But I mean that in a good way. She seems to me like a bud on the cusp.
I dropped my Ahsoka trailer reaction yesterday for those who haven't watched it. To say that I'm anticipating that show is an understatement. Rosaria Dawson is on my list of hall pass cards. I think I've really enjoyed. I think she's an awesome actress. She is an awesome actress, but I can also say from a completely male perspective, she is an absolutely gorgeous woman who I have just thought she was amazing since I first saw her in like Kids. But I remember the scene in Alexander the Great with Colin Farrell, and she is just in all her glory on screen. I remember watching that scene and going, "Oh my god!" Like, so to see her as Ahsoka, it's just like, you know, a can I say that and not get in trouble for saying this? It's a from a male appreciation standpoint of the fairer sex, you know, I can say she's the perfect choice for that role. Ahsoka's awesome. That character. Cat time is good time. It is agree. I agree. Oh, what's up? Dan Alex on Slander's Discord. Cool. Slandered's a good guy. I've done some fun stuff with Slandered over the years. Not over the years, over the months. I've only known him for about 6 months. Maybe a little bit longer, but I've done a couple things with Slandered. I've done a couple of interviews on his channel. Had some good one-on-ones with him about stuff. He's a good guy. The Napoleon trailer looked awesome. I love Ridley Scott films, so I watch everything he does. So, literally, I do watch every single Ridley Scott film. He's one of the few directors I will just watch. I don't care what genre he works in. I like Ridley Scott films. Don't care if it's, you know, going back to like Legend or Alien or one of my favorite movies is A Good Year with him and Russell Crowe, where Russell Crowe's character inherits a vineyard in France. That film is fucking awesome. I've probably seen it half a dozen times, and it's totally out of the box for Ridley Scott because most of his films are like historical epics or like creepy sci-fi, and then he goes and does this like romantic comedy, which was just like a brilliant film. There's that scene when they're in the restaurant and she's the waitress, you know, and he shows up to like romance her, and like the tourists are asking for like, well, I want to do ranch dressing on my salad and I want croutons instead of this, and he literally just yanks the menu out of her hand and he says, McDonald's is that way and fish and chips is that way. You know, get out of here. And it's just, it's a really good film. Do I detect a hint of jealousy?
Jealousy is in the eye of the beholder, or something along those lines. The wine might be befuddling me a smidge. As they say in Waterdeep, in wine there is truth.
This is true.
That's usually followed by, in water there is good sense. Good sense will have to wait till tomorrow. But before you go, I know there are many things about me that remain shrouded in mystery. You've been very patient with me.
Yeah, Blade Runner, both Blade Runners are great.
You know of my condition.
I'm very interested about the upcoming Blade Runner show that they're doing. That's going to be really, really good.
I can only hope my tale will live up to your expectations. Tonight, of course, we celebrate. I won't keep you any longer. Tomorrow night, though, you're in for quite the bedtime story.
Alright, do I talk to Shadowheart again?
Don't forget our little agreement. As soon as things quiet down here...
Alright, how do I know when things have quieted down? We'll see. Yeah, Ridley's old, man. Ridley is 80, yeah, 85. The original Blade Runners with Harrison Ford, yes. He was in the second one, but a little less. But Blade Runner 2049 is a really good film.
Remember what happened last time?
I was 8, and you magicked up a kitten. How was I supposed to know it was made of fire?
Maybe we should forget the city. Live out here, under the stars.
You have no idea how good it feels to see these people smiling. The singing we could probably do without, but even so, thank you.
Alright, so does that mean I can just go to sleep and we will magically do something with Shadowheart? I've quick saved it, so if we didn't, we'll come back. Auto select, full rest.
The buzz of celebration quiets to a soothing hum as you approach your bunk. Though you seek repose, you needn't spend the night alone. With whom will you share a bed?
Hang on, cue the bow chicka wow wow. Giggity giggity, alright. I'm gonna get my short stack on, yeah.
Your heart skips a beat. What treasures might this night bestow?
I don't know. Alright, shield your eyes, everybody. I don't know what's about to happen, because I haven't seen this before. So if there's naughtiness about to happen, it's not my fault. I don't know what to anticipate here. I've never done this option. All I can tell you is I'm short and squatty. What a body. And we're going to see what delights Shadowheart has for me this evening. I wouldn't dream of missing it.
So eager. I'm surprised it took you this long. Well, to begin, I think a toast is in order. Any suggestions?
To survival.
Very practical. We could have toasted to that every night so far. Here's to many more. Survival. Now tell me something about yourself. And no tadpoles, dragons, marauding goblins, or anything like that. Something about you.
I don't know what to do here. These are lots of good options. Share a little memory from growing up in Baldur's Gate.
Seems like you truly know the city. I never got to explore it to my liking. Don't stop now. Not just as things are getting interesting.
Your turn, I insist. Ah! I'm burning an inspiration point. There we go.
Don't laugh, but I'm not quite sure I have anything to share. When you worship Shard, secrecy is everything. We'll sacrifice our own memories when ordered to. A lot of the little things, they're lost to me right now.
That's right, her memory's been wiped. They're lost to me. And I'm going to say wrong. You like night orchids and can't swim. You told me once.
I did. And you remembered. You're sweet.
Yes, I am.
There's still plenty of wine.
I am. I'm very
and
sweet.
The whole night is ahead of us.
Yeah. Well, you're right, guys. That was a very wholesome scene. That was not anything devious or naughty. So we can keep our PG-13 rating.
Nearly light. The others will be awake soon.
Ooh, look into her eyes. Ooh. What's up, baby? You like your short stack? You're beautiful.
I know. But you're sweet to notice. Thank you for last night.
Well, I hope there'll be more to come.
Me too.
She trails off. You read an invitation in her eyes.
We're going in. Once you go gnome, you never go home. Oh, that was awesome, everybody. Those gloves, they both have matching gloves.
Hurt, did it?
No, far from
Good
it.
to know. For the future. Let's head back, if we must.
I trust you celebrated most heartily. Curious. I wonder if the tadpole shares in your suffering the morning after.
So that was very wholesome. That was not anything. That wasn't anything like what we saw in the panel from hell, everybody. There wasn't anything overly large or furry. That was awesome. Well, let's see, Halson. Speaking of tadpoles, you promised you'd help me.
I did. And it's high time we talked about your problem. I'm certain a cure for you can be found at Moonrise.
I wonder what the follow-up dialogue is going to be with her. We'll check that here in a second after we finish Halson's dialogue.
It's extremely perilous. Though it seems you're well
And then I'll
accustomed to
answer.
navigating
I'll
danger.
go through the comments here in a minute after we wrap up, guys. I wasn't paying attention because I was focused on this mostly. All right, this is a cinematic pending moment here. Moonrise Towers it is then. Better make haste.
Wait. There's more you need to know. To get to the towers, you'll need to pass through a terrible place. A cursed place.
Cursed place.
This curse shrouds everything in shadow. You will not find life, light, or anything natural there. Any who linger are twisted by the curse. They become shadow beings, tormented, dangerous souls.
All right. Dun 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 dun. I need to find a way through. There must be another way. What do you suggest?
You could go overland, along the Risen Road or through the mountains. Easier at first, but you'll run into the shadow curse eventually. You could also go under. There is a tunnel somewhere in the ruined Temple of Selûne.
I don't think it matters, Assassin Gamer. I just watched where you said, does it matter if you're male or female? I don't think they have any restrictions in place. I know like in Cyberpunk, there are certain characters who will only react to you if you're male or female. They have a preference. I don't think anybody here has a preference as far as I'm aware. I think you can openly have relationships with everyone regardless of the sex of your
They
character.
were promised riches if they retrieved a relic called the Night Song. But I think there's more. From this stronghold, Ketheric's forces could access both the Temple of Selûne and Moonrise Towers. But he was defeated before he could launch an attack. If you can find this place, I'll wager it will reveal a path to Moonrise Towers, bypassing the worst of the Shadow Curse.
All right, I've already found a way into the Underdark. I'll pick up the trail from there.
Already? If only I'd gone with you instead of Aradin.
All right. We'll go through the Underdark.
Anything is preferable to risking the Shadow Curse. I would like to join your camp, if you'll allow me. I can offer my skills, my counsel.
As long as you're not
I've long
offering me
sought to
any
return
bear
to
on
Moonrise Towers.
gnome action, I think we're fine, Halsin.
Unfinished business. It seems our fates have aligned.
All right, let's go.
I advise you start in the Temple of Selûne. If you find the Dark Justiciar's hidden entrance, it could lead you all the way to Moonrise. One of the adventurers had a clue to help find it, a dwarf called Brian. It might still be found on his corpse, wherever the goblins left it. May Sylvanas guide us.
All right, let's do a follow-up with Shadowheart real quick and see if she has anything else to say after our
May the darkness
night.
protect you.
I want to talk about less about that kiss.
I made an impression then.
You certainly did. Do you think it'll lead to more?
Time will tell, I suppose. I think it looks promising, though.
Ooh, I have a ton of. I have so many options here. Look at this, guys. I can actually scroll through. There's so many options here. That's amazing. Did I miss something before? When I asked you about the night we spent together, you hesitated.
Did I? Don't worry. I was probably just too busy drinking in the sight of you.
That, my dear, was a good answer. Because, gnome, glorious gnome, revel in my shiny gauntlets and little beard ponytail. You mentioned I said or done some things to give you doubts, like what?
Don't worry. I think I must have been misjudging you. I can't even remember what it was that made me say that.
Okay, perfect. So there is some follow-up dialogue after you have the romance option, even in Act 1. So that's good to confirm. I might actually include this as part of my. I was going to record an episode on romances. This would be a good thing to include in that video. I'll need to. I didn't record this, so I'll need to snip it out of the live stream and download it to redo it. Let's talk about all that's happened to us.
Fine. What's on your mind?
What do you think about happening to the Druid Grove?
I suppose some would commend our actions. Goblins would have razed that whole place to nothing if it weren't for us. No excuse to rest on our laurels, though. We've still got our own problems to contend with.
How am I holding up according to your estimations?
I must admit, you've been a surprise, and not an unpleasant one. Kindred spirits are few and far between for me. Besides, you saved my life aboard the Nautiloid. How can I do anything but sing your praises?
What will you do if you actually manage to remove the tadpole?
I suppose we'd go our separate ways. Not a slight on your company, of course.
No reason for us not to stay together if we get along well.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. If we do survive, we'll have separate lives to return to. I need to get to Baldur'S.
So this dialogue remains the same, even though we just did a romance option with her, because I've done all this dialogue before.
As soon as possible.
All right. I'm not going to pry.
Thank you. And you're right. It's a delicate matter. Not something for light conversation.
All right. Turn to other matters, and we are going to go ahead and leave now. So that's a good... I need to do a timestamp on this, everybody, because I got to go back and clip this later. We are 55 minutes in. All right, let me go back and read comments now, everybody, because I was so busy getting through all the romance stuff that I missed all the... There's a bunch of stuff happening. Dun, 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 dun. My gnome's bedroom eyes were pure gold, says Hensler. Victoria mentions they wish Larian had added a day-night cycle change. Have they not? I could swear they have. I don't know. Zero Homer says, I like the way the faces and skin have slight scars and blemishes. It is well done. Victoria says she doesn't like it when games have good graphics but the characters don't have flaws, like no blemishes without pores. That's true. Seahawk says this game's going to be awesome. I did about 20 playthroughs of BG2. Might be doubling that for this game. Well, there you go. That's why I told people I think it does stand a good chance to be RPG of the decade, given that it's going to have that replayability. Hensler says she craved the tender touch of your gauntlets. This is true. Hello, Bear Man. Daddy Halson. Furry on furry action is saved for Act 2. Seahawk says, I heard others get jealous if you sleep around. That definitely has been a case in previous Baldur's Gate games. And also games like, Pillars of Eternity. Pretty much every CRPG I've ever played. Party Gnomes, says Pablo Jensen. Oh my god, Gary Bell's back with another dad joke with gnomes. The Gnomanity! Prancing Panda says, can't wait to meet Gale's pet. Nice. Druid romance going to be insane, says Assassin. I think so. There'll probably be a lot of options. That's an interesting point, Zero Homer. Shadowheart's face is rigged, how her eyes move sideways, her expression at times comes across ever so slightly pained. Shar is a lady of loss. So this goes back to how good they've done with the mocap. Which, by the way, Larian Studios built their mocap and cinematic studio from scratch just for this game, going from 120 employees to 400. And the two people, they talked about this in the panel from hell, the two guys, I think it's a couple of guys who headed the cinematic division just for this game, and it's all the mocap and everything else. Yeah, I can't wait for the full release either. We are in for a treat for sure. Elzit says, do you think they'll increase the damage from what rogues deal in 5e around level 12? Will the tadpole abilities contribute to that? If I had to guess, I would say the tadpole is probably only going to be an issue for our characters from level, well, I don't want to say levels, but probably Act 1, the tadpoles are an issue. I think in Act 2, we're going to resolve the tadpole issue, and then we're going to move on to the issue with Baldur's Gate, which is the fact that someone's trying to take over the city, and we can either choose to take over the city or we can defend the city. It sounds like the tadpole issue and the absolute problem is going to be resolved in Act 2, which allows us to then go into Act 3, which is taking over the city. So I would say the tadpole probably isn't going to be an issue too deep in. The one thing I can tell you about the rogue is that they've insanely nerfed how sneak works and how sneak attack works in this game. So there's no more flanking damage. They took that out. So the sneak attack no longer triggers off of flanking. It now triggers, it only happens, you can only use sneak attack when you have advantage on the target, which means you either need to be sneaking or you have to have advantage. They need to be surprised. Otherwise, you can't use sneak attack. And I believe sneak is an action, or it's going to be an action for the live game, which it means you can't just duck into, you can't just necessarily sneak. But the way they do it, we'll see. Because right now you can like disengage and sneak and then come back, but it doesn't count as advantage unless you actually have advantage of the target. So sneak attack is a little wonky. It doesn't work like it does in 5th edition. So I don't know about the damage. I can't answer that question. But if you want me to do a rogue playthrough next week versus a Beastmaster playthrough next week, make sure to go vote in the poll. There is a poll up for members of the channel. I dropped the link here in chat a few minutes ago. I'll drop another link now. Go ahead and vote in that poll. Anybody who has membership on our channel, that will determine whether or not we do a rogue playthrough, and I can do lots of rogue testing with everybody next week. Or if you want me to do the Ranger Beastmaster. Perfect moment for me to do the commercial aspect. If you're here for first time and you're new, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. And if you want to support, which hopefully you do, thanks to those of you who can, you could do a simple super chat on this video. It's like a donation. There's 3 different pre-programmed amounts that YouTube has down. There's a chat button in the chat window with a $sign. You can click that, choose their amounts, or put in whatever you want to put in. Or you can join as a member of the channel. We have 3 different tiers. And members get a lot of cool stuff like the poll we just put up. And I have a member video coming later today. And we do 2 to 3 member videos a week, so check those out. It doesn't have to be the ally within 5 feet clause. No, it does not, Elzid. They changed that for Baldur's Gate 3, so it doesn't work quite like that here. Well, they're not upgrades. That's the thing to think about, Ryan Cranston. The upgrades, they're not upgrades. The tadpole doesn't give you upgrades. The tadpole gives you temporary abilities while the tadpole is a part of your system. But once the tadpole is gone, those abilities go away too. It's not like a permanent stat boost or anything. Yes, cunning action does work like that, I think, for the moment. So it's a little different than 5th edition. So I think they were dealing with OP issues, to be honest with you. Do we need to talk to anybody else? If we're done, I think we're about done here. We actually, we're an hour into the stream. We still haven't done the Underdark, even though the title of the video is the Underdark. So we're about to go into the Underdark. Welcome to the channel, Kenneth. See if Gale has anything to say.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Nothing special. Okay. All right. Wow, Kaga's here. That's interesting.
Sylvanas keep you.
And that's it. All right. So we're going to go back to Joaquin's Rest, because that's the back door we have to the Underdark. Welcome to the guild, Pablo Jensen. A new member, part of the Adventurers Guild. Woo woo! Welcome aboard, Pablo. Alright, we're going to go over here, because we got to go to the... We're going over here. The rogue sneaks in. Well, Victoria, I can say, I don't know if you were here for the stream the other day. Kaga has a redemption arc, which I didn't know about until I think it was 2 days ago. We did the redemption arc for Kaga. So I initially also really hated Kaga, but when I did the redemption arc, I was like, oh, I don't want to spoil anything, but the redemption arc, let's just say that she has reasons why she's doing the things that she's doing for the Druid Grove, and once you understand those reasons, it's not nearly as sinister as it sounds, because of reasons that I don't want to spoil if you haven't watched that stream yet. Or if you don't want to do that, if you want to play the Druid for yourself. I'll try not to spoil that. Alright, guys, let's go down into the Underdark this way. Lucian coming in with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. That's a cool little graphic, by the way. Alright, now somewhere down here was an entrance to the Underdark. Hidden stairs. Yeah, Kaga's kind of misunderstood, but it's the way they portray her. Like, you really have to dig deep. You have to beat all the rolls. Like, the rolls to get her to see beyond the initial sinister part, those rolls were not easy, and there was a lot of rolls in those conversations to actually, you know, make her see the error of her ways, so to speak. Alright, there is an elevator somewhere here. I think it was all the way over there. I gotta find the elevator now. Hopefully there's nothing left here to... I think we killed all the Zentarum when we were here the other day. That's the thing, Pablo. There are so many options. It's really hard to, you know, it's just there's so many permutations. What the heck was that? I gotta remember how to get back to the elevator. Well, this isn't it. Oh, do I need to go up? Hang on. I could swear there was an elevator up here, and I do not remember where it's at, but I do some camp supplies. We're going to go grab these. Prancy Panda says, my first time playing, I didn't find out she killed the kid until I stopped the parents from trying to poison her. Yeah, that's the default. Here's that table. Alright, I will take the baguette. I will take the potato porridge, the green grapes, the mug of beer. What's in the crate? Nothing. Oh, I'll take all those. Because once we hit the Underdark, there's not a lot of supplies. Well, I'm genuinely miffed here, guys. I know there was an elevator we took here the other day, but I don't remember where the hell it was at, because it leads down to the storeroom. Oh, there it is, right there. Possibly. Or were these the, Or were these the prison cells? This is the part I don't remember, because I did this like 3 or 4 days ago and I don't remember. Well, this wasn't it. Wait, did I never disarm these? Alright. Man, I could swear there was a frickin' elevator in here, and I don't remember where it was. It's literally pointing me right there. Or that's to the outside, path to Moonrise Towers. Man, I could have sworn there was an elevator in here, and maybe I'm just misremembering. Pablo says, so many days to wait for BG3 launch, being so privileged that game updates are a problem. That's called hashtag first world problems. For sure. That's hilarious. It's so true. Alright, there is an elevator. I swear there's an elevator in here, guys, but I don't remember where it's at. So we're going to keep exploring in here. Because there's totally a way to get to the Underdark in here, because I totally did this the other day. And the problem is, I'd never done it before, so my memory is... I may or may not have enjoyed a little devil's lettuce the other day that kept me from paying attention. Let's go keep exploring and see if we can't find it. And I apparently stumbled through a trap. I did not save the kid from the harpies on this character. I forgot all about that. So that's the door out. The fuck is the elevator, guys? Well, if it's not in here, maybe I'm misremembering. What happens if I hit safe fall and like jump down in here? I'm gonna go look this up real quick. That would be elevator to Underdark. Yeah, Zentarum hideout, Underdark entrance. This is what I'm looking for because I don't remember where the frack this elevator is. I'm literally watching somebody else's video right now, guys, because I don't remember. Alright, so he's going down into the basement, which is where I just went. Okay. He goes up the ladder. I'm totally looking, like, this is hilarious. I'm like, where's the stupid elevator? Oh, it's an illusionary wall. That's why I couldn't see it. Okay, I see where it's at now. I forgot this is an illusionary wall. So that's over in that area. I don't know which way he's got his camera at. It's right here. It's this illusionary wall. Would be cool if Gale had Tressum Pet. Ooh, that'll be interesting. Victoria says, "Love how Larian managed to give us a new BG game after taking over from BioWare." No, we're definitely getting the next Dragon Age game. I love. This is where I'm going to disagree with people so hard because I love every Dragon Age game. I love every Mass Effect game. I am very easy to please, and I am going to love whatever comes out from BioWare. I don't care what the next Mass Effect game. I don't care what the next Dragon Age game is. I am going to enjoy both of them equally well. Look at that. It was the illusionary wall, guys. The whole time I'm like, I know there's an elevator here. All right, down in the Underdark we go. All right. Perfect. Now we are down in the Underdark, and we can go on about our business. And this will be a quick save moment. All right. Before we continue, I need to answer some comments here on some of my videos, so let me answer my comments before I get going. Shut that down. Let's check the poll. I haven't looked at the poll yet. How's the vote doing? Oh, the Ranger Beastmaster is currently winning the vote by 67%. Artemius was asking, where's the Paladin love? I don't play Paladins. So it looks like as of right now, the Ranger Beastmaster may be the playthrough that we're doing next week. Which I have a wolf pet and a raven familiar. It's really fun. Alright, let me check these other comments here. Somebody's saying they need to go finish Baldur's Gate 2. This is a great question that somebody asked on my Rogue build guide this morning. Court Game says, I've never played... Hang on, my headset. Said, I've never played D&D games before or Baldur's Gate. Is Solasta for the Xbox a good alternative to understand the mechanics and classes of 5th edition? And I'm responding to this person telling him, yes. So if those of you who are here on the channel, if you haven't played Solasta yet, please, please, please go play that game. It is the indie version of what Baldur's Gate 3 is doing. It is so good. The grid patterns for turn-based gameplay, they do half cover, full cover, three-quarters cover. You've got dice rolls for everything. There are limitations to the faces and the voices, and it's definitely an indie game as far as the graphics go. But mechanic-wise, Solasta is the best thing I've seen, the closest I've seen to true 5th edition rules with their own original IP. They're doing all the things that Larian is doing in terms of jumping and throwing things and etc. I don't know about throwing things, but like the jumping and everything else. And you have sneak attack with Rogue for flanking damage. Solasta is a great game, and the campaign is rather short. So it's not a 200-hour game. It's a very clean 40, 50 hours for your first playthrough, and they've got like 3 expansions already out. It's great if you like turn-based CRPGs. That's a good question, Court Game. That's a good question. That was a really good question, actually. More people need to play Celeste. It's a really great game. Reading chat now. Danish rock band. Inquisition got released when I was 14. I'm 23 now. They better hurry up. I'm getting old. I don't want to hear it. I'm sure Babylonia wants to hear it even less. Let me explore the Z-axis of Deventor on a Dragon Age rogue. Bonus points for Great Heist plus Demon Cult plus Return of the Griffins and will bang. Okay. Assassin said I have Celeste. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm new to D&D and Baldur's Gate. You got gifted it? You got to go play Celeste, man. You've got like 2 weeks. You could probably do, if you started today, you could probably complete Celeste before Baldur's Gate 3 comes out if you played a couple hours every day. It's so good. It really is a great game. The Lost Valley expansion is a little weak compared to the launch game. I've not played Palace of Ice yet, which just came out a couple months ago, which was their level, I think it's level 12 to 20 or 12 to 16. It's a high level expansion. But Celeste is very good. Very good. It's 5th edition in all of its glory, with their own unique world. Wick says, I am Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite That's fucking brilliant. I love all the promo you could do for those shops. I'm Commander Shepard. And this is my favorite store on the Citadel. It's so amazing, that reference. God, I love Mass Effect. Those are such great fucking games. And I know I'm one of the few, but I fucking loved Andromeda. I've played it through twice. A third playthrough I got partially through before I got busy with other stuff. But I liked Andromeda. I was really sad that it didn't get received well enough. It had a shitty launch, bugs, but I had a lot of fun with Andromeda. I really enjoyed it. I can't wait for the next Mass Effect game and Dragon Age. All right, we're gonna do Underdark. I swear we're gonna do a little bit of the Underdark today, everybody. We got about 40 minutes to go. Let me go take a bio real quick, get a drink, and I'm gonna come back and we're actually gonna explore a little bit of the Underdark today. So, before I go, if you're new, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, join as a member, super chat if you can. Don't forget the Discord. Check out the other playlists. I'll see you guys here in a couple minutes. I had to get some queso manchego. Por ustedes lo que saben, queso manchego es excelente por todo, especialmente cuando es manchego ahumado. Cheese. No, that was manchego cheese, Zero Homer. Big old chunk of cheese. I like cheese. Alright. We have a lot to explore in here, so let's go take a peek.
Airborne spores. Fungal, I suspect.
Oh, look at that. The green. Excuse me, the purple.
What's hiding here?
Hush. Do you hear it?
Tell me I'm not imagining that voice.
That's a Myconid. And it's warning us.
They are coming. You are coming.
That was interesting. And we're going to loot all these boxes because I need camp supplies. I don't care about loot. But I do care about food because it's really hard to find food down here. Iodine crystal. So the cool thing is all this stuff is going to be part of the potions system, the alchemy system that's coming in launch, which I was really glad to hear because it means we can now apply poison to our weapons and stuff, which is going to be great. Oops, I didn't mean to talk
Shah's
to her.
blessings upon you.
Oop, take that. What else we got? We have rapport spores. Affected creatures can communicate telepathically with one another. Why are all my characters highlighted in blue all of a sudden? Maybe it's because of that buff? Or did I click something that highlighted them? I may have clicked something that highlighted them.
Softer than a whisper.
No, that wasn't it. I don't know what I clicked to highlight all my characters. Anyway, Victoria asks, how long did it take you to learn Spanish? I have been here now since, I often will split my time. Chris and I will split between here and the United States because my family, my brother in particular, but my parents live in the same area. They have a big cattle ranch in the United States in Missouri. So we often go up and spend 3 or 4 months during the summer up there and then come back down here and then go back. Haven't in a couple of years because just all the pandemic stuff made travel a pain in the ass. But I've been here in Mexico since 2010. So I've actually had about 13 years to learn Spanish. I'm also married to Chris, who's a Mexican. So, you know, I had rudimentary, like, high school Spanish when I moved here, which was like, ¿Dónde está el baño? Y, you know, ¿cuánto cuesta esta? Y cosas como así. But, when I met Chris, I didn't speak that much Spanish. She spoke decent English, you know, but, you know, we're both sort of on an even playing field. So I was inspired to learn Spanish when I met Chris, and I started off, believe it or not, I actually started off with, can you already poison your weapons? I guess I've never paid attention to that. But they talked about that in the new update, Ryan. You can imbue your weapons now. Anyway, I started off with Rosetta Stone, and I said, fuck this, I don't like the way they teach. I did that for like 2 weeks, I threw that out the window, and here's how I learned Spanish. I learned Spanish because in Mexico, they have what they call lavanderias on pretty much every street corner, no matter where you go. So a lavanderia, for those of you who don't know what it is, I know in the United States and in Europe you have laundry mats where you can go, you take your laundry, there's machines, you put coins in the machine, you wash your clothes, you dry your clothes, you leave. Well, in Mexico they have lavanderias, which is similar, but there are people who work there. You go drop your clothing off, you pay, they wash, dry, fold, put it in a bag, and if you drop it off in the morning, you can come back the same day and your clothes are ready for you. So when I was still a bachelor and I was dating, I used to just drop my clothes off and have them taken care of every couple days. Like every 3 or 4 days, I guess. I'd go drop my clothes off at the lavanderia where I used to live in Cancun. And the people, it's always like little old ladies who work there. And they're always just working and they watch novelas on television. Well, I like to, I enjoy the devil's lettuce, let's just put it that way. And I like to talk, which I'm sure you've noticed. And so I would be out and about and I would go drop my laundry off. And those little old ladies, I lived in at the time I was living in Cancun. I lived in a part of Cancun where there was no white people there. It was all the tourists are in the hotel zone, and then there's the town of Cancun, the town itself, which is different from the hotel zone. And I lived downtown, and I was like one of the only gringos there. So the little old ladies were always fascinated because here's this white guy living in a very Mexican neighborhood. And so I would gossip. I like to gossip. And so I learned Spanish gossiping with the little old ladies where I would get my laundry done. And I would spend like an hour, hour and a half every time I dropped off my laundry or I picked up my laundry. It got really funny because one of the ladies had a daughter who she tried to hook me up with, and I was like, I'm already occupied, but thank you very much. And her daughter was much younger than me, like much younger than me. And she was like, "Oh, I've got this daughter," and I'm like, it's amazing. She's nice and beautiful, but I can't. You know, I'm already taken. But it was really funny. But I spent about 4 years at that place and I learned Spanish from just talking to little old ladies. So the cool part about that was because I didn't learn it from a textbook, I learned colloquial Spanish. So I learned all the colloquialisms of, local Spanish in Mexico. So cosas como mande. I learned a lot of things that you wouldn't learn in a classroom, which is really cool. And then I did all my own immigration paperwork. I didn't hire a lawyer. I did all my immigration stuff. I did all my interviews in Spanish. I've done a couple of keynote presentations in Spanish as a presenter. I worked with a lot of clients in Mexico. I got hired with TripAdvisor because I lived in Mexico and spoke Spanish. So I got a really big project in 2015 and 16. We traveled around the country doing photo shoots of all the resorts and luxury villas. I think we did 128. I think it was 126 or 128 resorts over like a year and a half. They just sent us all over the country, Riviera Maya, Puerto Vallarta. This was back when I was still doing photography and travel writing full time. So it was mostly just, you know, spending a lot of time with local people and then working throughout the country. And of course being married to Chris, which, that's always been a blessing. Everything I do here on YouTube is English. Anytime the camera is off, I'm in Spanish. So I like 85-90% of my life is Spanish. The other, 15-20% is English because my work is in English. So that's the long version of that question. Yes, you got me ranting. Don't ask me questions, otherwise that's what happens. Oh shit, there's minotaurs down there.
Best be on my way.
We gotta be careful with those minotaurs down there. Those guys are nasty, but you know what? I've got the I've got the high ground. Alright. So we hit him with that. Let's hit him with the moonbeam. Oh no! Why are you running down? Yo bro, get back up!
Watch how you go. There's a trap.
Get up! Get up! That was not what I wanted to do. Oh, but he can't dash. He can't dash. Oh, I'm loving Sleet Storm, guys. Get up. Don't trigger the traps. Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. Let's hit him with my bow and hide.
For careful footwork.
Fall, damn you.
Gale, let's hit him with a firebolt. Oh, I missed somehow.
Keeping low. Your pain, my pleasure.
All right. I feel like the Minotaur fight is going to be a lot easier this time around because A, I'm level 5, and B, I'm coming at it from a different angle. Did my sleet disappear? I think the sleet might have disappeared. Or no, and the moonbeam. Hold up. Oh, he set off the traps! Did you guys see that shit? The Minotaur ran right through all the traps and just took a whole bunch of damage. And he burned the bridge! He burned the ladder! I'm assuming he might be able to still jump up, but he burned the ladder up. That's awesome. Victoria says talking with native speakers is the best way. Yeah, immersion. It's immersion. Do I dream in English or Spanish? Both, actually. Interestingly enough, I do dream in both. Cranston says Sleet Storm is such a freaking cool ability. I love it. I just got it last night. I've never used it before. When I think to myself, is it English or Spanish? Both, also, Lucian. I actually do split the two. It kind of depends on what I'm thinking about. It's funny, when I'm thinking about my cats, as an example, I almost exclusively talk to my cats in Spanish. And so when I'm thinking about my cats and thinking about what I want to do with the cats, it's in Spanish. But then if like I'm thinking about my brother and my niece and nephew, and I think in English because it's my family, you know? It's a weird thing. Sleet Storm plus Hunger of Hadar, holy moly. Did I play XCOM? No. No, I did not. Zero Homer. Interestingly enough, I was involved with a Bulgarian girl for about 8 years in my 20s, and she also had never been to an English-speaking country, but she had learned English in school and getting into her, out of school into university, and she like had the highest marks at her school, ended up getting a scholarship to come to the United States to study at the university in the town where I lived. But she had never come to the U.S. before she learned English. But she did. It was all through studying, which sounds like what you've done as well. And also, she consumed she was reading Wheel of Time and playing Baldur's Gate, and that's what we kind of bonded over initially was her love of fantasy and video games and books and stuff. I miss keys on my keyboard. There's definitely something to be said, Ryan, about people think differently when they speak another language. There's different mindsets depending. One of my favorite examples of this, and I'm going to rant for another minute before we finish this fight. It's not really a rant, but it's a discussion. One of my favorite aspects to bring up is in English, we have a word. When you go to work and you get money because you're being paid to work, you earn the salary, you earn your wage, you earn your income. Earn is the key word there. The word earn is an English word to receive something in exchange for work, right? That word does not exist in Spanish. It doesn't. Nor is there a similar word or phrase. What we have in Spanish is ganar, which literally means, translated directly, it means to win. Ganar means to win. I use the word ganar for my salary, ganar sueldo. I use it for money, ganar dinero. I use it for the lottery. I won the lottery, ganar la lotería. I won the lottery. So the word ganar means to win money or to get money, but they use it in the same way that we use the word to earn, even though it means something completely different. And this is what I love. I love getting into the, if you really want to dive off the deep end, this is when you get into the discrepancies between all of the various translations of the Bible. If you're religious, I apologize for people who might be religious in my audience, but this is when I get into people who, you know, this is a text that was translated from an Aramaic language thousands of years ago, and people think that whatever version they have is like the version, like with the correct translation. And I'm like, you don't understand how translations work, because that book has been published into hundreds of languages from a single root source that is a dead language that hasn't been spoken by a living person in 2,000 years. That's kind of hard to say that your version is the only version or that the translation is correct, because if we could just look at this simple word, and there's words in French, there's words in Bulgarian, there's words in Russian, there's words in, you know, Portuguese. There are just some things don't translate, and so people think differently depending on the culture they're from and their language that they're from because of the way that their language works. It's fascinating. It's a fascinating conversation that has nothing to do with the video game. You guys got me off on a tangent. Yeah, so I've had some really fun conversations about that. Let's see if we can't do a... Get him at the edge of this. By the way, it says that I can move the moonbeam. I don't quite know how to do that yet. We're going to check that out here in a minute.
Taste my fury.
The dice roll in my favor.
All right, it says here, move moonbeam.
All right.
So that counts as an action. Okay, cool. He moved out of the moonbeam, that's all he did. Oh, they can't come up. They can't come up. This is brilliant. I've never done this encounter this way. So he burned the bridge with the traps, and so he literally can't get to me now. That's brilliant. I gotta remember I get 2 attacks now.
Witching hour. Survival is all that matters.
Well, let's move that moonbeam again.
Hope this ends well.
I'm just gonna keep moving the moonbeam. Alright, it's 1 down. So, I gotta say guys, level 5, the previous times I've come down here, I've always been level 4. I've never been level 5 before I came down to the Underdark. You do a lot more damage at level 5. That's a significant amount. Welcome to the channel, Lidensor. Victoria says, it's true, I remember checking out the Bible in English, since I only ever read the Polish one, the differences in translations were major. It's a weird thing. You learned, Zero Homer says, I learned HTML earlier than English. You know, HTML is like it's a dead thing now. I had to learn it early on because I was doing all my own websites and stuff. So if I wanted to learn how to do WordPress, I had to learn basic HTML and basic PHP. But I'm not a programmer by any means. But at the very least, you know, I was able to build all my own websites and do all my own WordPress themes and everything else very early on, all the way back. And this is back like 2008, 2009. I don't think you can, Pablo. I think it's only, I think it's stat point buy. I think it's point buy only. I don't think they're doing stat rolling. So, I mean, you'll be able to put your stats wherever you want, essentially. Question is, how do we get down without taking damage? We're going to need somebody with Featherfall.
A long way to go still.
Is that blood?
Hop on down, everybody. All right, that is a quick save moment. I'll be right back. Sorry, everybody. That was Chris just got home, and so if you guys are paying attention, I put up a YouTube short yesterday. There was a company putting up a fiber optic line on the telephone pole outside of our house, and it was not the telephone company who I thought. There's a local company that just started about a year and a half ago, and they've been offering wireless to all the people who live in like remote parts of town. And they just started offering fiber optic, and they were just installing lines. But it's a very small fiber optic. They're a brand new company. They're local. And the only thing they offer right now is it's a symmetrical 15 down, 15 up, which is not that great of a connection. But I like to have a backup connection, and I don't have one yet. So that's where she just was going to that office to find out what services they offer, because they just put that fiber optic line. So theoretically, if their company does good and they expand their services, I think what they're doing right now is they have a very limited amount of bandwidth because they're a small company. So rather than offering 200 megas, you know, up, down, or something like that, they're offering a very small. So we'll see. Anyway, that's where I had to go, guys. Sorry about that. I got sidetracked. MMORPG made me want to move to your server. Some translation plus layers. Victon says when this game is actually going to come out. Steam still says October 6th. Steam does not still say that. Steam was updated yesterday. So the Steam page was updated yesterday with the new launch dates. 3rd of August is when it launches. I would have to start all over again. Yep, early access does not count. These characters will go away. The saves do not transfer.
More for me.
I'll take all your camp supplies, please.
Best be on my way.
I mean, if you're using mods, I would assume so, yes. Why is there a dead spider over here? Phase Spider Matriarch. Predator of the Ethereal Plane.
Broken bones. Must have fallen.
You guys want to know why it has broken bones and why it fell? I wonder if this is one of the ones we... This is the one we punted the other day. Poison Trails. With the wearer casts a spell that deals poison damage, it deals an additional 1d4. That is awesome. Hang on, I'm going to go look at the Steam page now. Because I just looked at the Steam page yesterday because they said they updated it. Baldur's Gate 3 Steam page. I see the confusion, Victon. I see the confusion, bro. So it says here, if you read the actual post they put, the game will release on August 3rd, 2023 on PC, etc., etc., etc. However, on the right-hand side of the page, at the very top, where it needs to be updated, it hasn't been. It still says release date 6th of October 2020. But that's the release date for the early access. So that's not the actual release date of the game. That's the release date for the early access, which is, you know, it is. That's when it went live. So that's why it says October 6th, 2020, because that's literally when we all started playing early access. So that's got to be the confusion. But it literally says 2020, which was 3 years ago. So, yeah, that doesn't need to be updated because that's accurate because that's when it literally is the Baldur's Gate 3 early access, and that's when the early access was on. So that's correct, but I can understand why that might be confusing to some people. But then if you read all the details in the posts and everything else, they talk about the August 3rd, 2023 release date for PC. Hey, man, no, you're not dumb. It's just it's. I didn't notice the 2020 thing right away either. It was after like the third time I looked at it when I realized, oh, it said 2023, not 2020. Bubbaloni says it's got to be the same one. This has got to be the same spider I punted down from above. which is kind of cool to have that level of you know, I punted the spider off and it fell all the way down, which leads to the next question, Bubbleonia. If I put a feather fall on and I jump from up top, do I literally fall down here? Maybe I need to run back up to that village and test that theory out at some point. Not on a live stream, but at some point. That might be an interesting thing to test. Do I get to fall all the way down? By the way, guys, I don't care what anybody else says about Cyberpunk 2077. I fucking love that game, and I played it at launch with all the bugs on the PS4, and it was a horrible, buggy mess, and it was still a fucking great game. I love Cyberpunk 2077, and I'm really torn because I'm not going to have time to play Phantom Liberty because Starfield is coming out in September, and I'm not going to have time for it, so it'll be next year before I get to Phantom Liberty. Also, I'm going to have to rebuy the base game because I own it on the PS4, but I don't own it on the Xbox Series X, and I want to play Phantom Liberty on the Series X, and you need the base version of the game to also play Phantom Liberty. So I'm going to have to rebuy the game. So hopefully at some point by the time I get around to playing it, they'll have a combo package where I can pick it up for like 30 or 40 bucks and get both of them. Honesta says you can feather fall down from there. I did that in the very first demo of the game panel. They did it in the first demo of the game panel from hell. What? I'm going to have to try that out from my personal perspective. Bubbleonia says, imagine the fun drawing out the Underdark on graph paper when they were designing it. Hell yeah. Oh, yeah, and the anime, the Cyberpunk anime they did was great. As was the one they did around that other Netflix show, which it's not a video game, where they have the discs that have your personality and they can input the discs into different bodies. And they canceled it after 2 seasons. What the hell is the name of that show? I've watched it through twice, and they did an anime around that show as well. I can't remember it now. Well, cool. That's an unexpected little Well, I know the castle thing is up here. Your NPCs stay at camp, Derek Hansen. Bubbleonia, myself, and Mujin have been testing multiplayer on Tuesdays. And because you're all your parties, you could still talk to the NPC companions and meet them and just tell them to go back to your camp. And then in our case, because we're only playing with 3 people, I've been bringing along one of the NPCs as the 4th member, and that person has usually been Shadowheart. But they're all back at your camp. So you can still talk to them and have conversations with them and everything else. You just can't bring them on your party if there's 4 of you. Oh, there's another Minotaur. He's going to get torched. Which I wonder if we're also going to get torched. That's a quick save. Man, I gotta go look this up now because I don't remember what the name of that show is called. Well, Altered Carbon. Altered Carbon was the one I was thinking about. They did an anime for Altered Carbon, and it was really fucking good. But Altered Carbon was a great show on Netflix. I kind of was really disappointed that one got canceled. Mobile says, I wonder if a multiplayer party can choose to play as the origin characters and group together without a tab. Ooh. I'd say that's something I need. That might be something to test out if you're available next Tuesday, Babylonia. We might not stream that one, though. We might just get together and check it out. Although I suppose I could just do that with Mujin. That doesn't need to be a full 3-party thing. Lucas, don't fuck around with your brothers, bro. He's sleeping. I gotta do a cat fight. Hang on. Well, originally I was going to do this right here, Derek. I was going to play a Forest Gnome Druid, but I'm definitely going to... I think I'm going to go back to my Wood Elf roots for the launch version, but I'm definitely going to play a Druid my first time through. And then we're going to do Sorcerer my second time through. And then if I have time, I'll then spend all of next year doing multiple playthroughs for other classes. Let's go see if we get eaten alive by this pew-pew laser thing.
More effort than a pit of spikes. Credit where it's due.
Dragon egg mushrooms. What is this? Journal of...
Something good here, I hope.
There. Come on. Journal. Read. So the question is, ooh, there's a staff there too. Staff of the Moon Maiden. So I have a feeling I'm going to get torched if I try to run up the stairs there. That's a good point, Bubbaloni. Yeah, we can't play as origin characters right now, so we can't test that. Never mind. My brain is not... I'm not all here right now. So how can we potentially...
Whatever comes, I'm ready. Darkness, guide my hand.
I doubt I'll even be able to sneak up here because I think that thing will see me, right?
Light on my feet.
Well, so far by sneaking, we don't seem to be triggering anything.
There goes nothing.
Do I still have Featherfall? Nope. Oh, can you not get in the back way? I was thinking you could get over from this side, but apparently you cannot. And you probably can't hit this with anything from there, or can I?
Staying out of sight.
Yeah, there's no way. Huh. Well, I wonder how you're supposed to get up here from the back side. I don't see anything to climb. Says too high to jump. Not enough space. Oh! Path there. I can totally get there. Check this shit out. Alright, nice. And now, if I'm not mistaken, pick up.
This'll do.
And let's take this down here. What is your issue, Lizelle? Get down in there.
Within reach.
let's go ahead and drop the item. Can we move it? No. But let's go ahead and drop back in here and hit it with a firebolt and see if it blows open the gate. Success!
Better make my next move.
Let's get in here because there's a portal over here I want.
And move.
What are you? Oh, what the? Guys, I'm an idiot. Look at this. If I only would have just walked over like another 5 feet, there's a broken window I could have gone through instead of jumping. Oh my god, I feel like an idiot. I am doing Circle of the Moon right now, Derek, and it is amazing because you get a blend of spells and shape-shifting. It's really cool. This Druid. Really cool.
Always room for more?
Is BG3 very different from DOS2? There are some similar mechanics, but it's a lot different, Vic. Zero Homer has a good point. More money, more production value. Oh yeah. They built DOS2 with like 100 people. This game, they have 400 people. So it's a lot different. You know, that was a Kickstarter game. This was, we're getting money from Wizards of the Coast to help develop this. And we also have the success of Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2 to help back us. And they did early access. So this has been a much bigger undertaking. So it's a much bigger game. Much more polish. Lots of other cool stuff. Alright, that's a quick save. Victoria says, at this point, I want to fall asleep and wake up on the 3rd of August. It is almost upon us. Alright, well, I got the, I got that. There's one more thing I want to do before we wrap up today, everybody, because I am getting close to my wrap-up point. Because I do got to get some other stuff done today. We're going to continue on, though. We've got a couple more things. Well, one more thing in particular I want to try here before we wind up. I would like to say, though, as we get towards the last, 15 minutes of the stream here or so, a couple of things to pay attention to. One is that I will not be doing an afternoon/evening stream today. I often do. Thursdays, however, as often as I can, whenever he's available, I play Diablo 4 with Gila. So if any of you are in the audience and you want to play some Diablo 4 multiplayer with us, we will be playing tonight around 5 p.m. Central Time. If anyone wants to join us, just need to hit me up in Discord so that we can get you into the group, and we'll go from there. But also today there is a video coming out at 2 p.m. Central on the multi-classing in Baldur's Gate, based on what we read from the community update yesterday. So make sure to check that video out. It's going live. It's set up as a premiere. I may or may not be there at the premiere. It depends on what I get done with my workload and if I step out of the house or not. But at 2 p.m. Central, there's a multi-classing video going live. And then at, I think, 7 p.m. Central, I've got that Githyanki fight we did with when we used the ogres to beat the Githyanki patrol. That video is going live around 7 p.m. Central, I think. So make sure to go check those two premieres. You can get the notifications to keep going. But yeah, no stream later on today. I've been doing a lot of like 2 streams per day the last week with Baldur's Gate 3, but we're going to be going back down to like 1 stream a day, probably starting next week, just because I got a lot of work to get done. I'm going to put up a stream schedule soon. I haven't really ever done a stream schedule. I just kind of stream when I have spare time. But Chris is urging me to set a schedule for streaming, so we're going to look at what that might look like, and then I'll post something on the channel soon. But just for today, no stream this afternoon, but I will be coming back tomorrow around this time for another stream on Friday. For those of you who are European, you'll be able to tune in and not have it be a crazy hour. All right, let's quick save here. Now, can I destroy these things? Oh, that fucking summoned the Spectator immediately. Not good. Not good. Save.
Blacket's eyes only.
This may or may not be.
My path be true.
Where are you running off to, chickie?
Going into hiding.
Okay.
Nice and quiet now. And away I go.
Cloak and dagger, my favorite.
All right. Silence this shit, bitch.
Better get to work.
And it'll move out of it, but it's fine. We'll get it while we can. Hide. She can't. Gale! You know what you need to do, bro. Fireball! Ha 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 ha! Big bada boom! Alright, I think that's all we can do, and then we're gonna get eaten alive here in a minute.
Blacket, guide me.
Okay, I'm gonna do an action surge. See if I can hamstring this bitch. Target is too far. Alright, let's do a Really? Target is too far, okay. Oh, path is interrupted. Magic missile? Charge is too far. Shit, I gotta get a little closer. Well, let's use a jump. I can't use a jump because where I'm located. I can't really get any movement. Fuck, I may have just wasted it. I may have just wasted my action surge. How can I not hit it from here? Damn it! I don't like wasting things. Githyanki, jump. Not enough movement. Well, fuck. I feel like I wasted that. Oh, how did it still cast something when it's silent? Dude, fuck off. You are in a silence. That is not fair. That is not fair. It was in a silence bubble and it still did things to me. Not cool, bro. Oh, it blinded us. Fuck, now I need to jump. Do I have Featherfall on? I do, so we're gonna jump right up in here. We're gonna get up in its grill, everybody. Kill it quick. No, kill it. And I missed both my attacks. I'm so screwed.
Where do I go from here?
Well, you, sir, let us hit this with a moonbeam. And we'll hold from here. I'm paralyzed. Concentration broken. That is not good. All right. fuck, I feel like I'm gonna miss everything. Yeah, crit hit! Eat it, bitch! It's only got 3 hit points yet left. Let's see if I can get it with Pommel Strike.
Dust on my...
Yes! I cannot believe that worked first time. I've never gotten it like that. Oh my god.
I offer to parlay, and he brings a spectator. Twit. Quite ruined my ambush. Now, you are?
Oh, nice. I'm Lizelle. You're welcome for the rescue.
Rescue? Helpless babes are rescued. I allowed you to assist me. I am Dawn, 3rd son of House Bartol, 1st rank evoker, and initiate of Graven Hollows. Oh. Oh, no, no, my dear dark gods below, no!
A memory shard. A container onto which brief mental impressions are projected.
I've never seen this
stored
before.
For years
Never.
At a time.
This is awesome. I just wanted to see if I could do the Spectator fight at the end of the stream, and here's what we're getting. A little bonus chapter. This is awesome. It's fading. It seems like you've been frozen like that for quite a while.
Far, far longer than I realized. Then my enemies have already found the forge. Which bastard stole my glory? Zargrim? Philro?
Those names mean nothing to me. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Impossible! The master of the adamantine forge would be known and feared throughout the Underdark. Unless... Huh. Ha! The fools must have turned back, or, better yet, died in the search. Good. If they had just surrendered their research to me, we might have found the forge together. But no, they hoarded their knowledge, left each of us clinging to scraps. I had the good sense to lock mine away in the shard. And now I can claim the forge alone.
What knowledge does the crystal contain exactly?
Bold of you to ask. The others knew of the forge's defenses, its operation, but I know where to find it. The rest I can figure out with time. Now I am the only one searching. Or almost the only one. You proved your power in freeing me, but I need no more riders.
He's gonna attack me, isn't he?
Try to take this as a compliment, yes?
Oh no, we're not done. Oh, that wasn't over nearly as easily as I thought it would be. Shit. And somebody's petrified, I think. Well, they're not all gathered together, which is actually really unfortunate because I can't hit them all with a fireball. However, these guys are all still frozen, so there's only 2 of them that are actually... Can I get them both with a fireball? Oh, I totally can. Let's do this. What's that you were saying, sir? Something about wanting to take me out? Yeah, I don't think so. A simple fireball from Gale will take care of all of your problems. Oh, that's great. Tiago Riviera says, greeting from Muspel. We've played WoW Classic several months ago. Glad to see you again. What's up, Tiago? I vaguely remember World of Warcraft Classic was a last year
Quite
thing.
exhausted.
What's up?
A good night's sleep would do me wonders.
That was an unexpected end to that, everybody, because I did not anticipate
Swift as my feet can carry me.
taking out the Spectator, let alone... he has no loot? What just happened there? Was it a trap or something? Oh, all sorts of loot on the drow. The Blast Pendant. Focus electricity to strengthen your next lightning spell or cantrip. That is a druid thing because I've got... I'm definitely taking that. A memory shard.
Open up.
I'm encumbered. take care of that in a minute. We need to do a rest and a quick save. Medium, rare to medium is how I like my meat. Silence doesn't work on the walker, says Jabito, because it doesn't use spells but abilities. I did not know that. That's good to know for future fights. So, that was a fun little boss fight. These guys are technically all still red to me, so I think I could go ahead and kill them if I want to, which we may take care of. In the meantime, everybody, that is going to be the end of today's stream because I got to go get some video production done and get some stuff uploaded and out for the next few days. So, for those of you who are new here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. If you want to support, and you can, it would be awesome. You can do super chats. You can also join as a member of the channel. Thanks to those of you who do. It's by no means obligatory, but it does help keep me fed, keeps my rescue cats fed, keeps the lights on, and it keeps me doing this full time so that I can provide you with enjoyment. Hopefully like your Netflix or Hulu or Disney Plus and all those good things. So thanks to those who do support. No more stream today. This is the last stream for the day. I'm not doing 2 today. However, as I mentioned about 15 minutes ago, at 2 p.m. Central, the multi-classing video for Baldur's Gate 3 is going live, followed by the big boss fight of the Githyanki versus the Ogre Trolls that we did a few nights ago. That's going live tonight at 7 p.m. Central. I pulled those out of the live stream as a video clip for everyone. It's about a 15-minute fight. It's really cool. Other than that, tomorrow we've got more Baldur's Gate 3, more Starfield. By the way, for those of you who want to have a conversation about Starfield versus Baldur's Gate 3 and what it means to be an RPG, that video went live today at 6 a.m. Central, so go check that out if you haven't already done so. We also did the Rogue class guide earlier today, and the 9th episode of Decoding Dune went live, which is the 9th chapter of the Dune novel by Frank Herbert. And those episodes, every Thursday we do an episode of Decoding Dune as we read our way through the Dune series. So check all that stuff out. Don't forget the Discord. Links are down below. Awesome stream, everyone. Did some stuff I never did before today. Saw the body from the spider that we punted down the shaft, which was really cool. And now I want to go up and put my featherfall on and do that because I think that sounds really cool. We took care of the Spectator, which was a completely unexpected surprise. Didn't expect that to go down as easily as it did, but we survived. It's a great way to end the stream. And again, if anybody wants to join Gila and myself from some Diablo 4 multiplayer today, we will be playing around 5 p.m. Central. Just hit me up in Discord. We can get you into the group. Cyberpunk, yeah, man, the rest of this year looks amazing for gaming, and 2024 with Avowed coming, as well as Star Wars Outlaws. So far, the number one game I'm looking forward to next year is Star Wars Outlaws, followed by Avowed. Fable is in there, but it's not a highly anticipated title. I'll just probably play it because it's going to be a Bethesda, or excuse me, not a Bethesda. Scratch that. It's going to be an Xbox game, so it'll be out on the Game Pass, so I'll play it just because. But and I'll get to the Cyberpunk expansion next year. I just don't have enough time this year. But Star Wars Outlaws is my number one most anticipated game for next year. Thanks, everybody. Catch you next time. Stay safe, everybody.